Welcome to episode 11, and today we are doing terrain. It's an entity. Let's start it up with some new files then, and I'm going to call it terrain. Now, I haven't really spoken much about terrain so far. In fact, I've said nothing. It's not a model. It's self-generated within the entity up to a point. Well, the model will be. What we're going to use is something called height maps. Now, this is slightly different, I guess, because we don't actually have any of this. So let's see what we can do, and we'll try and get something done. So it's terrain.h, please. Thank you. There we go. There we are. Terrain. So it's pragma once. Now, we have to start thinking. We have to start thinking about what we're going to need for terrain. Is it going to have a position? Well, no. Yes. No. Yes. Well, sort of. We are going to have positions for our entities on the terrain. So the terrain covers all positions, really, I suppose. So we'll see how that goes. What do we want to include? We need to include... Let's get starters in, shall we? Models. That's spelled models. Yeah. Let's see what we have in models to help us out. Oh, we do have model textures. Oh, that's good. We'll need a texture for it, won't we? So that's model textures. That's just textures, isn't it? In there. Just make a check. Yeah, so texture, not S. Thank you. Let's see. So we've got a texture, a base texture, should I say, or maybe the texture, because that's possibly going to be our height map. I think it is. You know, what else do we have in models that will help us out? We have model loaders, don't we? What we got in here? We've got an OBJ loader. No. What did we put in OBJ load for this? Because we haven't written this part of the files yet. Okay. Include API install loader. I don't know what that's going to be. I'm just going to call it API loader for now. Get rid of that line. Don't need it. Hash include. Just including things we haven't written, so that's good. What else we got in models that'll help us out? Models. Yeah, we can have model base, couldn't we? That might help to set it all up with. So yeah, we'll have that. Do I need model textured? Don't know. Don't know. I'll include it if I need it. So, oh, hello, Muppet. What's up with you? Okay. So let's put our namespaces in and see how this goes. Knowing that we don't have completed files. It means that we are not going to be able to complete this, but hey ho, we'll try. There we go. And this is going to be class terrain. Magic. No problems there, is there? Not really. Variables. Oh dear. Oh dear. We're going to need some kind of measuring system. Let's try. Well, everything I'm going to do is in meters. Just pretend every one is a meter. That's a good one, isn't it? So we need a size. We need the size of the terrain. Okay. Let's head it in this way. Let's start with content. I'll give it capital M thingies because it's a constant. 800 meters to start off with. Why not? Const int vertex count. I told you we're going to have to make this up as we go along, really. We'll just 128 of those. 800 divided by 128. Yeah, it's a fair enough size, isn't it? Yeah, that'll do. It's an int, don't need to worry about it. So this is going to be the number of verts per side. Note. And this is going to be number of pixels. I think that's a good way of putting it. 1 pixel equals 10 centimeters. Will that be 1 centimeter? Can't be bothered working it out right now. Of per side. There we go. So that gives us an indication of the size of our terrain. I will take an X and a Z. Why not a Y? Blades, why not a Y? Because Y is up. So everything, yeah, this is OpenGL's geometry for you. Y is up in OpenGL. Don't ask why, because it is. Oh, was that a joke? Whoa, better be careful, I'm a programmer. There we go. So we'll have an X and a Z. Yeah, different. What else should we have? Well, we've bothered to load up a model texture, so I guess we'd better have one of those. That's going to be in model textures, I guess. Is it model textures? Yeah. There they are. Model textures, colon, texture. And what we're going to call this is something really, really silly like terrain texture. How's about that for a name? Let's see. We are going to need a base model, aren't we? Yeah. So under models, we will have model base, and we'll just call that terrain model. There we go. So now you can see where we're going with those two a bit better. Need a public area, don't I? To set all this up with. Whoops. And this is going to be terrain. Right, what do we need for our terrain? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. So, X and Z is going to be our grid, isn't it? Think of them like a grid. Yeah. Okay, so int grid x, comma, int. Hello, Muppet, can you get out of the way now? Come on. Good boy, thank you. I'm trying to, well, do things here. Grid Z. And let's see what else we're going to need. We are going to need our loader, whatever we decide to load it with, into the OpenGL. So we are going to need at this point our API loader. Yeah, whatever that is. I'll put that there. Then what else can we have? Oh, we need a texture, don't we? So model textures, colon, texture, and we can call that wow texture. Sounds cool. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to split this down, because I know I've got a bit missing there. There we go. Semicolon. That'll do. Okay. Do I need a terrain destructor? No. I'm not going to put one in for now. We will do our normal getters and setters as ever, because it is only an entity after all. It's nothing special, this part. He says unknowingly, getting himself into deep trouble. Yeah, we don't have a terrain itself, so we are going to have to make one, aren't we? Better have to anyway. So models, model base, and generate terrain. Yep, looking good. And we will need, it's going to be amber. Oops, model loaders again, isn't it? Oh, it's this thing, isn't it? API loader, which we don't know what it is. Semicolon. So now you know how we're going to use the API loader. We're going to use that to generate ourselves a model base. Once the API loader is finished, you'll see how that works, because it does generate a model base. I think it already does, actually. Yes, it does. It already generates as a model base. So typing that in is fine. That will work. Wow, that's good. That is really good. Getters. Let's have some getters, because we're going to have to get access to this terrain. So let's start with models, model base. Get model. And that will be return, and it's m underscore terrain model. There we go. That'll do nicely. I like that one. That one's nice and easy. Model textures. Yeah, model textures. And that's texture. Get. Just texture will do. always keep thinking of put terrain in front of it, but there's absolutely no point because of the naming conventions. And that's just going to be return m underscore. Oh, thank you, Pudding. That's very kind of you. What's wrong, Puds? Just excuse me. Oh, we've got a cat that needs attention, but you know what cats are like. What was I doing? Terrain texture, yeah. There we go. I've got one sat on me and one downstairs crying for attention. That's lovely, isn't it? Terrain texture. Yeah, that's right. Float. Whoa, don't do that. Float. Get X. Yeah. Oh, det. No, come on. Get X. And that's just going to return underscore X. And the last one, get Z, is it? Yeah. And return underscore Z. Lovely. So, that's our setup. And it all fits on one page. What's wrong with it now? Let's have a look. Oh, that looks nice. Bits of it missing. Lovely. Don't need that lot. That lot's all finished. So I'm going to need the terrain and private. So 2. I'm going to need 2. So let's just set all of this up. Let's have a look. Namespace it all first. Have I done something strange here? Nope, I haven't. Just wondering why that came up. That was interesting. Amber. And namespace. Entities. Forgotten where I was then for a second. So let's have a look, see what we have. Save this one out, please. I'll take that one. I'll try. I'll do my best. Copy. Thank you. So I want you. And I will want you. The other 2 that haven't been defined. Everything else has a definition. Yeah, all got curly braces. Good. That makes it easier. So our terrain now has 2 functions. I guess I'm just going to put a color on that. Good point. Good point. How I'm going to word this now. Oh. Doesn't matter really, does it? No, it doesn't matter. I'm supposed to do these in the same way that I've ordered them here. Terrain model. Sorry, texture and model. Well, there's texture. Model gets done separately. So texture is the only one I need. Right, okay, that's fine. Okay, this is going to look a bit weird. I'm going to do them in slightly weird order here, aren't I? So m underscore x equals grid x, comma, oh, that didn't work, comma, m underscore z equals grid z, comma, m underscore terrain texture equals texture, comma. Yes, we have a weird one. You might not have seen me do this before. I mean, you've seen me give it values before, like 0 or 1 was placed in the brackets, but I bet you've never seen me do this before. And this is for the terrain model itself. What we're going to do is, we haven't even written it. Yeah, we can generate it from here. And this is the API loader. Paste. Oh, thank you. F11. Thank you. API loader. I just, yeah, that's right. There we go. That stops that. Let's have a look through now. Terrain int grid x int grid. Yeah, I'm going to put all this on one line. I don't like it split like that. Okay. I know I'm going to have to put a comma in there at some time. Remind myself, maybe. Texture. Expected a semicolon somewhere. That's perfectly okay. You can do if you wish. Because I haven't done that. There we go. Let's make it a member of terrain, shall we? And let's make that a member of terrain, even though it's private. Yep. Is this looking better now? Model base. Models model base. Okay, what's wrong with it? Expected a bracket. Oh, so you did. Sorry about that. At least it told me this time. There you go. Empty. Yeah, don't want you. All the hard lifting work's been done by that last line there, asking it to go into the API loader. We can do everything in the API. In the creator, which is going to be a bit difficult because we haven't got the loader, have we? I don't know what we're going to need, so I can't really write this. Yeah, that's it. That's all the terrain I can do. Doesn't actually do anything. Right, okay. Yeah, sorry about that. That will come under the finalization lot. I'm going to make a series at the end called Bringing It All Together type of thing. And that will do all of these bits that don't fit together. Because I'll have an API loader by then. In fact, very soon. Probably the next session. Can I actually do any of this? No, I can't at all. I don't know what anything's going to look like properly. I'm just looking through my notes now. No, because the return has to be from the loader, like we did in here. At the end of object loader, see, we couldn't do it. Convert data, and we couldn't actually do the return values. We just put something in to make sure that, well, we could run run the program at the time, so we're testing it, but we're not now, so I don't need to. I do need to. Actually, that's a good idea. I'll just do the same. Yeah. There we go. Copy. Do we need anything else in here? Oh, right, okay. Right, test equals blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter, does it? No. Return A, and you can be 1. You can be a 1. Okay, switch my numpad on. That helps, thank you. Why was it switched off again? Oh, I do love computers. There we go. Now that will be happy. It won't complain at me. I hope. Yeah. That gets return value. That puts return value in. That's dubious. And that's okay. So, terrain is done. As best as we can do it, really. Well, without further ado, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Let's have a look down. What do we need to do here? So terrain's up and flanked. It's getting longer and longer, this list. Here we go. My, it is getting long. That's it. That's everything. That's the end of C++. You'll be happy to know. Ah, lovely, isn't it, when you get a finalization done? Rain.h. Is that looking good? Yeah. And here we can put in source entities and terrain.cpp. Was it Control Shift B? And there it is at the end, terrain.o. Lovely. That's not complained at all. So it's perfectly legal code. It doesn't do anything. All this code now doesn't do anything. It'll work, but it won't give any kind of results. So that's a C++ bit. I think we better do the API. That will fix a lot of the holes that we've got in these object files here. When we go back and fill them in, that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on forwards into the API. I'm going to finish off with these entities, models. So I've now got entities, mass models. What was that one? Words, terrain. So plus, and that's terrain. Complete. Yeah, I told you complete wouldn't work, but hey ho. Pop that onto the server. Yep, worked. So in the next series, what we are going to do is write the API. That is the bit that goes between OpenGL and also the C++. Now I needed to know what the C++ would need, and I already know what the OpenGL needs, because OpenGL will only work one way. It's a state machine. It's a machine full of switches that we can switch on and off, and we can provide it with data and spam it to the screen, and wow, what do we get? Beautiful graphics. Yeah, that's easy. The OpenGL part is actually the easiest, because most of that is fixed methods, which can be learnt or taken off the internet or done any way you want. But it's usually they're the same. Different wording, but the same. So we'll get to that when we get to it. Next up, I will be starting a new series, and I hope you've enjoyed this part and you found that having gaps in it is refreshing and that everything isn't just straightforward, but it's been easy so far. It's been nice, it's been comfortable, and in the next one we might have to do a bit more coding, a bit more thought, but hey ho, that's the way of programming. So until then, take care, and above all, have fun.